Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Breeze coming at you with a brand new NBA 2K21 video. And today, guys, as you can see by the title, we're going to be showing you the best point guard build to make in NBA 2K21. Guys, with this build, you're going to be able to dominate the competition every single game. This build will give you the best chance to hit all of your jump shots, make plays like all your favorite YouTubers, all your favorite streamers. This build is by far the best point guard build to make in the game to get you dominating as soon as possible. So right before we jump into it, guys, let's get this video to at least 100 likes. That's our like goal for this video. I know we can do it. You guys have been showing so much support on all the recent videos, so thank you guys for everything. It really helps me out getting these videos pushed out. So let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Also, if you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that sub button and hit that noti bell so that way you guys don't miss a thing. We are grinding daily content out here. And also leave a comment down below what build you guys are currently using in 2K21. I'm really curious to see what kind of players I have following me. Are you a center? Are you a small forward? Are you a point guard? Let me know down below. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So as you guys can see, of course, I'm a point guard, so make sure you guys go with the point guard position. Handedness, this all depends on what side of the floor you like to create on. If you like to create on the right side of the floor, go with the left hand. If you like to create on the left side of the floor, go with the right hand. Moving on to the pie chart, the pie chart you guys are going to go with is this pie chart right here with the equal amount of playmaking and shooting. And the reason why you guys want to go with this is because this pie chart gives you the best overall stats across all categories in the game. There's no better pie chart. It's not even debatable. There are other playmaking and shooting pie charts. However, this pie chart will give you Hall of Fame shooting and Hall of Fame playmaking badges. And on top of that, the ratings across the board are just insane. Honestly, I can't believe they put this build in the game. They literally took this build that's been good every year and they made it insanely good. They made it basically overpowered in this game. So go with this equal amount of shooting and playmaking pie chart. And then for physical profile, you guys are going to want to go with the very first one. The thing that matters most, especially on a play shot such as this, you always want to go with the highest speed possible. So go with this first physical profile. Now for your variations with your badges, I'm going to give you guys two variations, and it really just depends on your personal preference. Do you want finishing badges, or do you want a little more shooting, playmaking, and defensive badges? If you guys don't really care too much about your finishing badges on this build, then I'm going to show you what you should go with first. However, the second variation is what I personally went with. So if you guys don't really care about finishing badges and you just want to go with the maximum amount of shooting, playmaking, and defensive, the first thing you guys should do is just max out your layup. This is always going to be important because an 80 driving layup, I'm honestly surprised they gave this build this rating. This rating, in my opinion, is too high for this build, and it just makes it overall just way too OP. You don't really need finishing badges, in my opinion. I personally want finishing badges just because I don't want to feel like I have any type of weakness, but an 80 driving layup is nearly elite. Especially at 99, you will have an 84 driving layup. So definitely make sure you at least put your driving layup to an 80. Shot close, I would say put this to a 70 still, because on this type of build, you will be taking a lot of close shots. So at least a close shot of 70 is important. Driving dunk, put this at a 50 because when it's maxed, it's at a 64. And honestly, the amount of dunks that you guys are going to be getting at a 50 driving dunk versus a 64, there's pretty much no difference. You'll be getting the same amount of dunks with the same exact dunk animations. So I would just say go with a 50 driving dunk. Now for shooting, you want to max your mid-range, your 3-ball, and then post fade, put that up just enough to where you get that 22 shooting. Now for pass accuracy, max this out, max out your ball handle, and then put up your post moves just a little bit to 22. Now put your post fade up to where you have 24 shooting exactly. So you should have about 162 upgrades left. Now just put the rest of these into defense. So perimeter, lateral, steal, defensive rebound, because the defensive rebound gives you a lot of badge points for some reason, and then put the rest into your block, and then the rest into your interior. Now this variation is the best variation to go with if you do not want finishing badges or care about them, because this will give you a good driving layup, a good enough shot close to hit those moving shots close to the rim, a good enough driving dunk to get wide open dunks when there's no defenders around, 24 shooting badges, so that's going to give you 6 Hall of Fame shooting badges, and then 22 playmaking, which is going to give you 5.5 Hall of Fames. So you could get 5 Hall of Fames, and then you could get 1 silver, or you can mix and match which ones you want Hall of Fame and which ones you don't. But definitely go with that 22 playmaking, and then 8 defensive. That's going to turn you from an average defender to a defender who can actually get stops. You could run 2 gold badges and a silver. So I highly recommend going with this if you want those extra defensive badges and you don't really care too much about finishing. However, me personally, I didn't go with this variation, guys. The variation I went with, I'll show you right now. I went with 6 defensive, so I went with this exact amount of defensive upgrades. And then I went with 20 playmaking, so you guys are going to want to make sure you have just enough into pass accuracy and ball handling. And then I took down my free throw all the way, put my post fade up to a 73 so I'd get exactly 20. And then I maxed out my shot close. I put my driving dunk to a 56, and then I put the rest into post hook. Now you'll see this is probably the most well-rounded setup you could go with, because now you get 7 finishing badges, you get 20 shooting, 20 playmaking, and 6 defensive. This is what I personally went with, just because I feel like the 7 finishing badges is going to help me a lot down the road, especially with an 80 driving layup. I also get that 82 shot close, which is extremely important for moving shots close to the rim. I get a 57 driving dunk, so at 99 I'll have a 61 driving dunk. And then post hook, the only reason why we put this up is to get those finishing badges. We're obviously not really going to be doing post hooks on this build, but we put that up because for whatever reason, 2K will give you more badge points towards finishing when you put your post hook up. Now shooting, I personally am comfortable with 20 shooting badges. A lot of you are probably going to want to go with 22 to 24, so I highly recommend tweaking this around so you get at least 22 shooting. Me personally, I'm comfortable with 20 shooting, so this is what I went with. 20 playmaking, that's more than enough. And then 6 defensive, that's going to be enough to make you at least viable on defense. So body shape does not really matter, whatever you prefer. I went with the skinniest body shape just because that's what I prefer. Now height, this is extremely important, guys. Make sure for height that you guys go with 6'4" on this build. The reason why I recommend this is because 6'4" is the tallest height you can go, which unlocks very quick jump shots. If you go 6'5" or taller, you will not get the very quick jump shot speed in the jump shot creator. Keep in mind, guys, there is no quick draw badges here. So you actually choose your shot speed just like all the old 2Ks in the jump shot creator. And if you want the fastest jump shot possible, the only way you can get very quick is if you're 6'4" or shorter. This is how it always was in prior 2Ks, and it's no different in this one now that they finally took quick draw back out of the game. So I personally went with 6'4", and then weight, I go with 178, and then wingspan, I go all the way down. To me, wingspan going all the way down on this build is a no-brainer, simply because when you go all the way down in wingspan, you get that maxed out highest possible 91 3 ball, which will max out at 95 at 99, a 94 mid-range, which will max out at a 98 and 99, and then you get that 86 ball handle, which will max out at a 90. In my opinion, this is the smartest move to go with for wingspan because you're already 6'4". With a default wingspan, it's not like you have like this crazy long wingspan anyways. You're only 6'4". So minimum wingspan is not really going to hurt you too much from default. It's definitely worth going with this minimum wingspan on this build just so that way you get the highest shooting ratings possible. So go with that minimum wingspan. You get that elite shooting, the elite ball handle. I honestly don't know how this build got in this game because to me it's just insane. You get a crazy high shot close, an 80 driving layup, which is in my opinion just stupid on this build, and then you get almost pure sharp level shooting with elite level ball handling, and then you're going to be the fastest player on the floor with your speed once you're at 99. To me, this build, I don't know how it got in the game like this, but I'm not complaining because it's extremely fun to play on. So that's the variation you guys are going to want to go with. And then shot creator is what I personally went with for takeover. However, it's honestly up to you guys between spot up shooter and shot creator takeover. I'm going to call spot up shooter sharp takeover because they made spot up shooter takeover play like the old sharp shooter takeover in prior 2Ks this year. Off the dribble, guys, spot up shooter takeover is insane in this game. You will get greens consistently with guys closing out their hand down your throat. You will get greens behind half court in the park. You're just going to green stupid shots with spot up shooter as long as it's a standing shot. So that's why you're going to see a lot of comp players go with spot up shooter in this game, because most of the time you're going to be taking those standing shots. Me personally, I went with shot creator takeover just because I like to have a little more fun. I want to be able to hit step back greens from Limitless. I want to be able to hit spin jumping threes from Limitless. I want to be able to take fadeaways from Limitless from 3 and green it every single time. With this, you're going to be able to fade away, just take basic drifters from 3 and hit them every time. Hit stupid shots from mid-range. You're going to be able to just have a lot of fun with shot creator takeover, and it's also going to boost your ball control by 10 points. It's going to boost your layup by 10 points. To me, shot creator takeover just gives you the most advantages overall. Spot shooter really just boosts your basic standstill shots. However, it boosts it a lot, and it's extremely effective. And honestly, for just strictly comp, I would recommend going with spot up shooter. However, you can't go wrong with shot creator. It's extremely OP this year too. So just decide between spot up shooter and shot creator takeover. You can't go wrong with either one. It's all preference. Playmaker is completely worthless at this point in the game. They might give it a buff, but as of right now, it's only going to be good for dimer passes, because as of right now, you will not get pretty much any ankle breakers. I've yet to see anyone get consistent ankle breakers with this badge. It's almost pointless to go with. Do not go with it as of right now. Slasher takeover, this is where you could get really glitchy. If you go with slasher takeover, let me know if you guys get the contact dunks, because you should be able to get contact dunks when you guys activate the slasher takeover in games. This would make it so that way they have to guard you airtight on the 3-point line, but when you go by them, you could dunk on anyone. So slasher takeover might be extremely fun and crazy to go with on this build. I don't recommend it just because it's pretty risky, but if you guys want to try it out, go with it, and let me know if you get the contact dunks when you activate it, because that would make this build just completely OP, and it could be crazy. So if you guys want to try that out, go with it. However, I just recommend going with spot up shooter or shot creator takeover. Me personally, I went with shot creator, so that's what I'm going to go with here. And as you guys can see, it is called a playmaking shot creator. So if you guys want to just dominate the park, pro-am, rec, stage, you want to green shots consistently like your favorite YouTubers and streamers, you just want to go crazy, this is definitely the best build to go with. Go with one of the 2 variations I showed you in this video, and you will start to dominate, especially when you're watching my daily content, because I'm going to be showing you every single day in all of my videos how to utilize this build and how to use it to the fullest. So without further ado, let's hop into the game. All right, guys, so jumping right into the gameplay, as you guys could see, we're on the play shot build, and this build, guys, once you get your badges on it, you are going to play exactly like this online, especially once you see all of the videos I have coming up teaching you guys pretty much everything you need to know about this game and making all of your shots. But as you guys can see, one of the most important things that I have is my hot zones. I already have a video out on how to get your hot zones. I also have a video out on how to get all of your badges for shooting. So make sure you guys go check out those videos, because you need to follow both those videos if you want to make shots consistently every single time like you see in this video. You'll see a lot of my shots, I'm using a new jump shot in this particular gameplay. A lot of my shots I'm not even timing perfectly, and they're still falling. And that just goes to show how important these badges are. And one thing you guys are going to see pop up pretty much every single time is that hot zone hunter in the top right, or Deadeye. I would say those 2 badges plus range extender are some of the most important badges in the game that you need. Hot zone hunter being number 1. If you do not have hot zone hunter on, good luck making consistent shots online. I don't care what build it's with. As you can see, Flawless right there, his build's pretty crazy too on his center. Had to make sure I threw that one in. But as you guys could see, consistent greens, consistent whites going in, does not matter. We shot 4-4 from 3 that game. Moving on to the next one, you're going to see pretty much the same stuff. Not really going to show too much gameplay here, because I feel like this video has already gone on long enough, and we have a lot of videos coming up. I already have to get started on the next one for you guys, but as you guys can see, consistent greens. This jump shot is also really, really nice So I'll make sure to also put out a video on this jump shot. That way you guys can get consistent greens like this as well. But all in all, this build, obviously, it's pretty insane. I got a ton of videos coming out very soon, so make sure you guys get your badges. Make sure you get everything that you see me running with in this video. That way you can knock down consistent shots online. Does not matter what mode it's in. All of your shots are going to fall, especially these mid-range shots. These mid-range shots, you could probably not even release it anywhere near where you're supposed to on the release point, and it'll go in. That's how OP this build is from mid-range. Threes, still same thing. As long as you got all your badges and everything maxed out, you're gonna knock down all your shots. And as you guys can see, when you have the takeover activated, it's over. That takeover is insane. As long as you're just taking moving shots, it could be a moving shot of any kind, of step back, a regular pull-up. Normally I just go for the regular pull-ups, but you'll see, didn't even release it good right there, and I got it to drop. So with that being said, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. As always, this has been your boy Breeze. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Really helps your boy out. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel and hit that noti bell. Comment below what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.